What's cooking, Bianconeri? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Today, of course, we have your latest rundown of all things Juventus. For a quick recap, what are we going to be talking about today? First off, we're talking about Aaron Ramsey and his situation with the club. Is he on the outs? Is he holding Juventus by the testicles? We'll fill you in there. After that, we've got a couple of names that are still popping up when it comes to Juventus. Who could they be linked to bring in for the future? And then finally, a couple players, their injury statuses we need to break down a little bit as well and see when they'll be returning for Juventus. Stick with us. We'll fill you in now. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back here in the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro, and today is Monday, October 11th, 2021. Before we do anything, let's go and hit that like button, smash that subscribe button if you're new to the channel as well, and also hit that bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos. Now let's just jump into what we have for you regarding Juventus news for the day. First up is Aaron Ramsey and his situation with the club. First report that we have is from Calciomercato. They're saying it seems that Aaron Ramsey leaving in January is what both parties want. There's interest from some Premier League teams. Good news. Hopefully that'll end up becoming actually come to fruition. One of my worries whenever I hear this news, though, is how many years or how many at least transfer markets. Whatever, Mercado markets, they're the same thing. How many of those have we heard those same sentiments and then nothing come from it? That's the one thing that worries me for the future, if that will actually happen. Is there's a lot of words of there's interest, there's whatever, there's never offers, there's always interest from Premier League club teams. Will any offers come? That's the interesting part. That's the part we had to hold out for, maybe pray a little bit. Going off of that, though, we have the second part, and this is from Ekrem Koner. I don't know. I don't know this source that well, how reliable he is, but he is reporting that Newcastle United have offered Aaron Ramsey a 3-year contract. Now that changes things, if that is proven to be accurate, if that's a true statement or not. Who knows? But that's what's being reported as it stands right now. We've also heard about other potential offers before. We'll see if anything comes of this, but it seems that Newcastle now, with their new money, with that oil money, you know what I'm saying? I want that oil money. With that oil money in Newcastle United, they may potentially look at Aaron Ramsey as one of their targets. Maybe one of their first targets. I hope. When I say this, no offense to Aaron Ramsey or whatever, but hopefully that's not their top target they're going after. I mean, he's going to be on the bench. Okay, but anyway, that seems to be an option there, that he may be going to Newcastle. That would be a good way to free Juventus of their bind to him, open up some space to slowly go after some of these new options that they're looking at down the line to help reinforce and bolster this midfield. I saw a comment from a guy, I think his name was like Tom Williams. It's a very generic name, maybe like a British football expert or whatever. He had tweeted out something on the effect of like Aaron Ramsey's talent's being wasted at Juventus on the bench. It's like, my guy, the reason his talent is being wasted on the bench is because my guy's been injured 90% of the time, 75% of the time, 90% of the time. He's injured. Can't really do anything if you're always hurt, if you're always in J medical. And at the same time, the time that he has gotten to be out there on the team or out on the field, has he really looked like he's been one of those top quality midfielders? And I also understand too, when we get into the next segment where we're going to be talking about some of the guys that Juventus could bring in, sometimes it's also just the fit's not right. Sometimes the fit's not right. Maybe Aaron Ramsey goes to a Newcastle, goes somewhere else like that. Maybe he fits in well, and maybe he sees a resurgence in his career. I wish him the best if he does. But the best thing that can happen for Juventus right now and for an Aaron Ramsey is to go ahead and get moving on there, and then we can all start our lives anew. Let's move on to the next one. That's what we're talking about, the future prospects to fit in that midfield. Ones that would replace guys like Aaron Ramsey, whoever you have leaving in the Mercado. And of course, we talked about him yesterday, and that's Donny van de Beek. La Stampa is reporting that there have been contacts between Cherubini and Donny van de Beek's agent. He is a concrete target for January. So again, nothing really super new there, but just more reports, more whatever have you, basically cementing that Donny van de Beek is a target for Juventus. He's one of those main options that we're looking at. Like I said, right now, when you look at our options, you've got Donny van de Beek, who I think will be a great addition for the midfield. He'd do a lot better than what we have currently. You could look at maybe Dusan Vlahovic, who please, if anything can happen. But I'm also worried there's a lot of competition when it comes to Dusan Vlahovic, and it's starting to heat up for sure. So I'd be worried about that, how that'll play out. But I would love to see, especially if you're looking at a January transfer market that ever happened. Whew. But and then we have a third name, of course, we're talking about someone we've been talking about a lot, even during the summer. We talked about him. And that would be Arlim Tchouameni. And this is Gazzetta dello Sport, who's reporting that Tchouameni is the priority in the midfield. Juventus have moved early, and Allegri likes the player a lot. A move for the player in January should not be excluded. Again, we've had similar reports reported out recently, but they're just going on the record today saying that it seems pretty obvious to me, seems pretty cut and dry that it's Tchouameni, Van de Beek, and potentially Vlahovic are those options. Hopefully Vlahovic. Vlahovic is more of a dream than it is, while Tchouameni and Van de Beek seem like potential serious options for the January transfer market. Hopefully those would be solid midfielders to bring in. I think it really would help Juventus. The only problem I'm starting to see with Tchouameni, and it's not a problem with the player, it's a good problem for him, but it's a problem, is that he's getting a lot of interest from a lot of clubs right now. You're looking at teams like, at least I know fans of these teams are spouting off and pushing this narrative, and I would imagine it's going to start heating up anyway. But especially yesterday, I saw a lot of Manchester United fans riding that Tchouameni train, saying that they want that Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, and Tchouameni midfield to be put together, and they want that. So there's definitely getting a lot of hype. Definitely starting to build. You never know. He's a French player. What kind of allure maybe the Premier League may have. I know also you have, I saw guys from PSG. Like I said, I know maybe some of the stuff that I'm commenting on is a little bit of rumors, hearsay, whatever. But there were a lot of like PSG big time guys also being like, hey, you can't let a guy like this get away. And then PSG is like, hey, hush up. We only buy, we only spend our oil money on guys that are, Leo Messi. We'll look at Ronaldo again next week. But anyway, that's what they're doing. We'll see if Tchouameni ends up becoming a serious target for any of those clubs as well, and how much Juventus has to battle for him. But Tchouameni, if we can get him as soon as possible, would be a great addition for Juventus, and would like to see what he can do. Maybe he could be, I don't want to say he's going to be a Paul Pogba, but you know what I mean, that next big-time midfielder that can grow and develop into something like that. We'll keep you monitored there, especially once we get closer to January. I'm sure we'll start to hear this ramp up. Maybe it'll cool down a little bit when the season actually resumes on Sunday, but I doubt it. I'm sure we'll keep hearing rumors about Tchouameni and his future. Going off of that, Gazzetta dello Sport also had another report. We get into the players and who's going to play, if they're coming back from injury, what have you. Right now, it appears that the coming back against Roma, against the Giallorossi, Dybala is expected to start against Roma and to play at least 60 minutes. So they expect him to clock some pretty good time against Roma. So I guess that means he's in pretty good shape, and they feel like he's good to go. Another report that was going off of this was also saying that Morata obviously seems to still not be in shape to return yet. That's the way it stands for right now. But it looks like Dybala will be good to go against Roma. Be good to have these solidified pieces in. I also look at my watch, and it's Monday, October 11th. And the ink's still not on the paper yet when it comes to his renewal. We were hoping that, that maybe you can just go ahead and get that done over the international break. Now it looks like by the end of the month, who knows what we're going to hear by the end of the year, and I'm just going to be more annoyed by this, especially when we said it was a done deal, and it's still not on the paper yet. But just get on the paper. Get on the paper, okay? Anyway, we can move on. The final one that we really have to talk about is Weston McKennie and his situation, if he had an injury or not. And Couch Mercado is reporting that here in the United States is where I am, that Weston McKennie did not play for the U.S. due to some muscle issues, but he is expected to play tomorrow against Costa Rica. So it seems that his injuries or whatever have you, the muscle issue, is not serious. He should be good to go. He will be playing against Costa Rica, and hopefully he's fine. I understand a lot of Juventus fans are not high on Weston McKennie. I still want to have a hope or a dream that he can come and do something, at least while his time at Juventus still remains here, even if he's sold in January. But as an option, one needs to be healthy. Hopefully he can go out there and work his bleep off, do something like that, make have a good performance or two. One, also just because you want to have his value as high as possible, especially if you're going to sell him. Even if you're not on the Weston McKennie train and hoping that he stays here, you at least want his value to be as good as possible for if a sale were to go through. Anyway, that's the last bit of news that we really have for you today. Of course, we're going to have anything else that comes down, we'll cover as soon as it does. We're just kind of in those waiting moments of getting through the international break. Let it be over. Let's get back to our season. Let's enjoy our season and what we have here going on, especially now that it seems Allegri's starting to put this thing together. We've got a few wins rattled off here. I haven't lost in, 6-7 games, 6-7 matches, whatever have you. It's good to be a Juventus fan, and it's exciting to see where they can hopefully climb their way back up in the standings. Anyway, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and also hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos as soon as they drop. Follow Bianconerizone at Bianconerizone on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me at Justin Sofer on Twitter, and follow Julian Genotti at Genotti151 on Twitter as well. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.